was a big week last week for the women's volleyball team as well. They're in the AMC Tournament, not far away from where Rio Grande was. It was a little bit up farther north at Mount Vernon of Nazarene. That was the tournament site because they were the #1 seed. The Pioneers were the #4 seed. They did take on Cedarville earlier in the year. They were able to defeat the Yellow Jackets. However, on Friday, the Cedarville Yellow Jackets came out to play and they swept the Pioneers 3-0. 25-23, 25-16, and 25-22. The Pioneers end their season at 29-10. Let's bring in Melissa Stokoski now. Melissa, you picked the Pioneers to go the whole way, and just a struggle against Cedarville there on Friday.
It was a struggle, and it started out with that first set. They really came out strong. It was a critical first set, and they ended up with a 7-1 lead in the beginning, the Yellow Jackets did. And that was huge. That really put them ahead and gave them the upper hand for the entire match pretty much. And I have to give a shout out to the Cedarville girls who commented on our YouTube and give credit where credit's due because they really came out strong from the beginning of the match and they did not let up for the entire match. So, you know, it was tough to do against the Pioneers, but they really pulled it off.
And we always talk about how vital that first set is, and then we always talk about how vital the second set is. And the Pioneers just were unable to even come close in that second set. Cedarville just really dominating the pace of play and dominating at all facets as well.
Exactly. As soon as they got up first in the second set, then all of a sudden it led to a 25-16 victory, and they're up 2-0. And the Pioneers at that point have so much to gain that it really even mentally breaks you down, especially when this is the playoffs. This is huge. And there's a lot riding on this game, especially when they're trying to get to 30 wins in this season. They're only at 29 to tie with their record of last season. So there's a lot on the Pioneers' shoulders. And especially in the third, they took a 21-14 lead and ended up winning by a close 25-22. But even when it is close, they still pulled it off.
And in the end, Melissa, it always just comes back to just getting behind early. It was consistent for the Pioneers in each of the 3 sets. They just got behind early and just were not able to mount a comeback.
And the Yellow Jackets kept a safe distance ahead of them the entire 3 sets. Even if they were close as they were in the third, they still kept that distance and were able to maintain that power over the Pioneers.
You know, you weren't the only one who got your bracket wrong because I got my bracket wrong as well. The winners of the AMC Tournament happened to be Malone, the team that I told you to watch out for. They were able to defeat the Cougars in the AMC final there, so the Pioneers season ends, Melissa, but it hasn't really been a season squandered, really. You saw a lot of faces that really stepped up to play, like Kakic, Oberacker, another great year for her. Sedina came in and filled in through injuries. Ardinger as well. The Pioneers did have a successful season.
Absolutely, and you know, you kind of feel for the seniors, Rachel Roddy, Ashley Zetak, because they are leaving on this note, although they shouldn't be too upset because they did really well personally in this match anyway. It was still a very successful season, only 1 game behind what they were last season with 30 wins. So this is the second most winningest season for Point Park in 1 match behind 30. So they should not feel bad. There's a new big 3. It's going to be Ardinger, Geary, and Oberacker, and they have a lot to look forward to in their time at Point Park. Their talents grew substantially from the beginning of the season to the playoffs now. So they have a lot to look forward to. They have a lot more room to grow, especially in losing these people. There's a silver lining. You know, they have more to step up to. Big shoes to fill, absolutely, but it should be a successful season next year as this season was.
And you said it right, big shoes to fill. This senior class in Roddy, Zetek, and Nelson are the most winning seniors ever. In the history of the Pioneers, they have won the most games from freshman year to senior year. So huge shoes to fill, especially in that Roddy role too. Just the emotion that she showed in the game and the quality of player that she was.
Absolutely. She's a very passionate player, and she has a lot of presence both on the court and off in the locker room. You have to remember, these girls are together so much. They're really bonded as a team, and it's tough to lose those key players, especially like Roddy. But again, it's just more room for more players to step up and really become their full potential when these players leave. And we have to remember also, the beginning of the season was so questionable in the lack of Zoe Hughes. Playoffs were a huge question. We didn't even know if that was a possibility. And this team made the most of the cards they were dealt and did an awesome job in the end.